Welcome to the Snapshot of Meditations by Marcus Aurelius. Here, we'll explore the key insights from meditations. Ancient wisdom for modern dilemmas. Listen to this snapshot if you are interested in ancient philosophy and the tenets of Stoicism. Seek basic advice for a better life. Wonder how the insights of a Roman emperor apply to your daily life. Key insights you will learn. How to deal with irritating, arrogant, or incompetent people. Why you shouldn't worry about becoming famous. How to motivate yourself to get out of bed, and so much more. Stoicism is a branch of philosophy that emphasizes individual detachment. The Stoic lets go of the many aspects of life that they can't change, such as failing health, disasters, or professional setbacks. Instead, the Stoic focuses their energy on what they can control, like their attitudes and goals. In this snapshot, you'll learn how to apply the basic precepts of Stoicism to your modern-day problems by letting go of anxiety and focusing your energy on your inner life. Introduction. Marcus Aurelius was a 2nd century Roman emperor whose career was plagued by natural disasters, violence, and political upheaval. While Aurelius climbed to prominence almost 2,000 years ago, his writings are still relevant today and offer modern audiences insight into how a revered leader managed to do his job amid incredibly stressful circumstances. The following sections of this snapshot explore some of the emperor's wisdom for maintaining personal peace and enjoying life in an unpredictable world. Dealing with people. When you begin each morning, make peace with the fact that you'll spend much of your day dealing with irritating, incompetent characters. Humans are imperfect, and it's inevitable that you'll cross paths with the arrogant, the unkind, and the annoying. Your colleague in the neighboring cubicle will chew his gum with his mouth open. Your Uber driver will have body odor. A male coworker will talk over you during a meeting, or your mother will continue to call with unsolicited advice about your love life. Remember that humans are social creatures by nature. So in socializing, these realities are unavoidable. Injustice, pain, and irritation are simply the way of life, and you'll be better off if you make peace with these disturbances instead of letting them cause you angst at every turn. Anxiety. Life is unfathomably short. Death hangs over you in every moment, and you must face the fact that its arrival will be random. You might go through your day minding your endless to-do list, only to be hit by a bus. You might spend the present moment worrying about your future, only to discover a lump in your breast. Consider the people who came before you in life. They spent just as much time carefully planning their choices or worrying about their finances, yet death claimed them anyway. Your situation is no different. In each moment, remember that your time on this planet is increasingly brief. Therefore, don't worry about the future or about events that are outside of your control. Do whatever is in your power and be happy about it while you can. Fame. Everyone desires their own form of fame. Perhaps you want to be the employee who devises a revolutionary idea that will change your company. Perhaps you want to write a best-selling book that will receive rave reviews. Or perhaps you simply want to be the kind of parent that your child will love and cherish, even after you pass on. However, you'll be a far happier person if you banish these ideas from your mind and stop worrying about fame, as this is the wrong use of your ambition and energy. Consider all the famous writers, inventors, and leaders who came before you. In your mind, the world wouldn't exist as it does without their unique contributions. Yet those celebrities met the same fate that every other human must eventually encounter. They all disappeared into death. Fame cannot save you from this inevitability. Also, consider that memory is relatively limited. Do you really know anything about your great-great-grandmother? Will people be talking about Martin Scorsese in 200 years? Even the most exciting public figures of the present recede into the blind oblivion of history. If fame is your goal, you'll never attain what you seek. Even if you do manage to make it big, everyone will still forget about you eventually. But don't let this fate depress you. Rather, let it be a reminder to take it easy. Whatever you do in life, you have the freedom to do it because you love it. Run for local office because you love kissing babies. Make a movie because you love the process of collaborating with actors. Write a book because you enjoy getting lost in the psychology of your characters. Once you let go of the false promises of fame, you can live for love instead. Let go. You contain three basic components: a body, the contents of your life, and your mind. You're obligated to take care of all these components. Do your best to stay healthy by eating wisely and exercising. Do your best to take care of your family and honor your vocation. Do your best to go to therapy, show yourself some compassion, and improve your intelligence. However, don't mistakenly assume that your perfect efforts will lead to a perfect life. Even if you do all the right things, like yearly checkups or regular exercise, you might end up with a terminal diagnosis. Even if you work really hard at the office, you might get laid off. Your best efforts won't influence the random twists of fate that pervade human existence, and your life might go haywire even if you manage to make all the right choices. The only aspect of yourself that you can truly control is your mind. You have the power to observe the way you think. You can observe your tendency to hold grudges or feed on anger. You can go to therapy and address your recurring pattern of playing the victim. You can choose to be better informed on current events or to improve your intellect by listening to more snapshots. Your attitudes, emotions, and mental patterns are under your control, so use that power to improve in any way you can. Don't waste time fretting about the aspects of your life that are impossible to change. Instead, direct your energy to the part of yourself that is within your power. Use your head. The circumstances of your life will never be sources of contentment and peace. You can't rely on an elusive promotion or a perfect relationship to make you feel whole. If your workday is full of chaos or your home is a source of stress, you don't need new circumstances in order to find peace. Instead, you can find peace in your own mind. Every person has the power to retreat into their mind. You can take a deep breath, close your eyes, and experience stillness. Even if you're surrounded by anxious coworkers and arguing children, serenity is always accessible, and you don't need to alter your circumstances to attain it. If life feels stressful and disorganized, take a moment to reflect on your principles. Remember that your values and beliefs ought to be your highest priority. Focus your efforts on activities and relationships that are true to your ideals, and let the rest fade away. Furthermore, remind yourself of the brevity of life, and remember that suffering is inevitable. Instead of feeling resentful about your circumstances, accept them as an unavoidable part of life and move on. The most authentic satisfaction comes from within. You can be your own source of peace and contentment. Take care of your mind by paying attention to how it works and becoming mindful of your true priorities. If you can do this, your mind will ultimately take care of you. Other people. Don't worry about what other people do, say, or think. Remember that the stuff of life belongs to one of two categories: the things you can control and the things you can't control. Other people always fall into the latter category. You can't force a coworker to like you or prevent your neighbor from letting their dog relieve itself on your property. These occurrences might feel irritating, but in the end, you can't control what people do. You can surprise your coworker with an endless deluge of homemade baked goods, but they still might think you're an inferior copywriter. You can report your neighbor to the neighborhood association and instigate a crusade against dog poop, but that still won't prevent a canine from squatting by your mailbox. Your energy and emotion will come to no avail. You'll be better off if you learn to let go of such anxieties and focus your energy on the parts of life that you can control. If you want to get into that coworker's good graces, you can be courteous and diligent when you work together, but don't lose yourself in anxiety if your actions don't produce the intended consequences. You can talk to your neighbor about their dog, but don't let yourself fall into a downward spiral of loathing and resentment if that neighbor refuses to listen. Focus on your mind and find ways to be at peace with unpleasant circumstances. Getting out of bed. When your alarm goes off in the early hours of the morning and the rainfall against your roof makes you want to stay in bed instead of chasing the bus, tell yourself this: I rise to the work of a human being. Why are you on this planet? Are you here to be comfortable? To stay in bed all day, eating Hot Pockets and rewatching every season of Mad Men? No, you're here to fulfill your calling. You're here to till your tiny corner of the universe. Are you a painter? Get out of bed and put something on a canvas. Are you an engineer? Get out of bed and write some code. Are you a writer? Get out of bed and summarize a book. You know what you're here for. You're here to be a human being, so do what humans do. Live well. Take care of yourself and other people. Live according to your beliefs. Brush your teeth and put on real clothes instead of moping around the house in that unwashed bathrobe. You have a body and brain, so put them to use. And for God's sake, stop eating Hot Pockets. Judging the universe. The things that happen in life, such as hurricanes, layoffs, infidelity, or asteroids, are all natural occurrences. They just happen. They belong to the universe, and they're neither good nor bad. Resist the urge to judge the contents of your life. Don't give the universe the evil eye if a tree falls in your garage. Don't blame the forces that be if your lover stops loving you. Accept everything that happens to you, even if it's disagreeable and painful. The universe has given you this fate. So who are you to argue? Furthermore, the universe is indifferent. The hardships you suffer aren't a personal attack from the divine. They're just the way of life. Instead of judging the universe and becoming resentful because of your hardships, practice acceptance. Don't label certain events as good or bad, blessing or curse. Simply accept that they exist. Make peace with your life, however it happens to unfold. Justice. Take it upon yourself to exercise your power for the sake of others. Injustice and oppression are incorrect human behaviors, and to perpetuate an injustice is to act against yourself, for you damage the quality of your soul if you hurt other people. You must not only strive to act in the most just way, but also wield your power to alleviate oppression. This balance may feel difficult to strike. You might ask, how can I practice acceptance of the universe and work to change the world? The answer is that you must cherish both aims. Go to the Capitol to lobby for gun reform, but don't hate your life if you fail to influence legislation. Work as hard as you can to elect the first black female governor of your state, but don't fall into depression if her conservative opponent rigs the election in his favor. Hold on to your inner peace, even if things don't go your way. Change. Every change, even a positive one, can feel difficult. Your long-awaited promotion will come with new hours and responsibilities, and it might take time to get used to that. Getting married might be what you truly desire, but that won't make it any easier to find someone else's socks and toenail clippings around your house. Every good in life requires change. Seeds change to become consumable crops. You get smarter in order to get your degree. You outgrow your favorite shirt in order to become an adult. As you encounter the more difficult changes in life, remind yourself that change is the source of every good thing. Also, remind yourself that change is inevitable and stop fighting it. One more note on brevity. Life is short, and it will be over before you know it. Stop worrying about anything and everything that's beyond your control. Stop fretting about the future and the opinions that other people hold. Focus your energy on your own business, and don't let the uncontrollable elements of life ruin the precious time you have left. Conclusion. Much of life is, and will continue to be, outside of your control. Don't worry about the events and people that you can't change. Instead, work to influence the realms of life that are within your power. How you think and feel will always be under your control. Live as virtuously as you can, and don't worry about the rest. Above all, remember that your time on this planet is brief. So make the most of it. About Marcus Aurelius. Marcus Aurelius was the emperor of Rome from 161 to 180 AD. His Meditations are considered a classic cornerstone of Stoic philosophy. Thank you for listening to the snapshot of Meditations by Marcus Aurelius. If you liked what you heard, then make sure to explore the rest of our snapshot library to continue gaining key insights from nonfiction books in a matter of minutes.
Thank you for listening to our quick learning audiobook review series. If you liked what you heard, then check out our channel for more free audiobook reviews. We post new audiobooks every week. And don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell to be first to hear of our latest reviews.